You don't shout and scream if you're a drunken twat like you do in the UK to show how small or large the driver's penis is.
It gets to that rev limiter quick. We're doing some miles an hour.
I'm late for work and my fuel light has just come on, so I'm going to be even later for work.
Notes are on my phone this time, everyone, but we're on. Welcome to another podcast as I warm up my notes.
Oh, we're on now, are we?
Oh, we're on.
Oh, thanks for letting me know.
Hello, all. Well, you know what I'm like. I just run with it, don't I? This is pretty much Axe Baby today, and there's a reason why it's Axe Baby, everyone. Ack has been on a journey not too long ago, and that journey is one that I am absolutely determined to do at some point in my life.
You will almost certainly. Why don't you sell your cars?
Oh, here we go again. For regular viewers.
No. Okay, fine. Let's have a bit of fun first. Why don't you sell all your cars and buy a decent one? Or
sell some of the cars
and do this trip.
Yeah, it's more about the timing as much as financial at the moment. But I'm going to do it. Yeah. But we need to cut to the chase. You had a recent trip to somewhere that, if you think that we're in the UK, is quite a few miles away.
Yeah, the land of the rising sun.
Japan, no less.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm hoping, therefore, in this little podcast, Ack's going to bring his views from a motoring point of view, both car and bike, because I wasn't with you.
Well, anything with an engine, really. So that's like public transport, private transport.
Or the infrastructure itself.
As a whole, yeah.
Which, as we know, in the UK is crumbling. So
that's a polite way of describing what's past 20 years ago.
Should we start with that? We'll do the obvious one, ain't we, first? Tokyo. What the traffic really is like. What are the people like interacting with that traffic, and what the infrastructure's like?
My first afternoon in Tokyo, I was struck. I'll go into all the details in a minute, but I was struck by how completely, wholly and utterly polar opposite is central Tokyo to central London.
Okay.
The first thing that struck me was, if you go to central London now, obviously you've got the cars, the buses, the push bikes, the motorcycles.
The congestion zone.
The congestion is no different in Tokyo, but we'll get to that in a second.
All right.
But it's just a cacophony of loud, violent noises in London. Revving of engines, bibbing of horns, drunken arseholes. Whereas central Tokyo, you could hear a pin drop.
Okay.
And I'm not kidding you.
You wouldn't expect that, of course.
It takes a little bit of getting used to, but there is no revving of engines, no screeching of brakes, no bibbing of horns.
Although there is a huge car culture in Japan, to be fair.
Oh, massive. Oh, yeah. It's not like they've got no cars or less cars. They're just no, central Tokyo is just as
proper
busy
petrol heads in Japan.
Yeah. But there's no less vehicles in central Tokyo than there is in central London. I mean, there's lots of them there.
Biggest city in the world, isn't it? By population?
I don't know. I've not got a clue. But the first thing that struck me was, how quiet it was.
Okay.
Because it is frowned upon to be loud and raucous in the streets of Japan. You don't shout and scream if you're a drunken twat like you do in the UK. I saw very little ego with regards to motorbikes or cars just going at real speed in an effort to get there, because it's just so efficient. You don't need to kind of, like you do in central London, and whiz in and out, and there's none of that over there.
You used to do biking in London, didn't you?
I did, many years ago. I was one of those motorcycle couriers in central London.
But you're not getting that in Tokyo.
No. So that's like the vehicle side of things. And the second thing that struck me was, I'm lying. I heard somebody bib the horn once, and that's when a pedestrian crossed when they shouldn't have crossed, and that was a tourist.
I was going to say, interestingly, because pedestrians tend to do it correctly in Tokyo and in Japan in general.
Everywhere else.
They do not cross until it's the right time.
Basically, yeah, all the pelican crossings are controlled by lighting.
Yeah.
And there's audio cues as well, which is quite cool. And people actually queue in a line at various points on the pavement, waiting to cross. And when they go. And this is the really interesting thing. In the UK, if a pedestrian is crossing the road, say, crossing a junction, and a car wants to come across the road and turn left, turn the junction, 9 times out of 10 they get bibbed at or they get an angry driver. However, in Tokyo, it's everywhere else in Japan, but talking about Tokyo, if the pedestrians have right of way by going across the junction, because it's like the green light and we're walking across the pelican crossing, and cars obviously have to turn left into the junction or the other way turning right into the junction, they will start to turn, but they will stop at the pelican crossing. They will wait patiently for all the pedestrians to go, and there's no bibbing of horns, there's no revving of engines. No. It's just
proper.
It just works. And the second thing I noticed about all the vehicles, and this was even after, I noticed it on my first day, but again, the same thing was prevalent after 3 days of rain. Not a single dirty vehicle.
Okay.
Every single vehicle looks like it's just come out of the showroom. Even Mr. Taxi Driver in his 1985 Datsun
whatever
Cherry,
it is,
whatever,
yeah,
looks like it's come out of a concourse museum.
Yeah.
Immaculate, all the cars. Even the HGVs. All of the HGVs, you know, you get some HGVs in the UK working class, you know, they're obviously dirty, grimy, and then you get the show ones with all the bright chrome
kind
wheels.
Of all you're seeing over there.
That's their HGVs.
That's
they're
the
like
norm.
show vehicles.
It's interesting you say about badge conscience almost, because in the UK we're very famous, of course, for being badge conscious.
Yeah.
And there is a thing at the end of the day, whether we want to admit it or not, where people of certain badged vehicles look down on other vehicles and they see it as a status symbol.
Yeah.
Whereas, of course, and I know a little bit about this, not because I've been there like Aki yet, but of course I will be there at some point. But the fact of the matter is, I imported a K car from Japan, of course, and K cars, which for those people that don't know, conform to a certain size and engine size, etc. They're made by all the Japanese manufacturers and they're predominantly sold in Japan. They are just cars. They're serving a purpose.
Yep.
They're looked after. And I personally like the look of them. I think they look mad. But they're fantastic and they're practical and they've got that much space inside. It's very
And they're absolutely
deceiving.
everywhere out there. Can you believe that?
Yeah, over 40, yeah. Imagine in their own country that over 40% of them are K cars. And things like BMWs, Mercedes and Audi, they are over there.
They are.
They're in
I saw Lamborghinis, I saw Ferraris,
they're
I saw
in
all
limited
stuff.
numbers.
I've got the impression that they view their personal transportation, even the push bikes, and I'll get to that in a second, as utilitarian, as in they
serve a purpose.
They're for a purpose. They're not for personal enjoyment or fun. There's obviously a degree of that. For example, push bikes, quite boring looking.
Yeah.
Like for example,
they're serving a purpose.
Because for example, you see videos in like China or Korea or where everyone's on a bicycle. They're all utilitarian looking bicycles. Yeah. It's like that.
Yeah.
There's no flash. Well, I saw one flash race bike. I didn't see any mountain bikes. Didn't see any hybrid bikes. They're just plain, simple, utilitarian cycles.
Because they're serving the purpose of being a cycle.
They don't have the same issue over there that we have over here with regards to auto and cycle crime. For example...
they obviously have crime.
They do have crime,
but not to the level that we do.
Yeah. Give you an idea. You walk past a block of flats or a cafe or something and there'll be cycles parked outside. And they'll just be put on the... And most of them, because they're utilitarian... No, that's the whole point. They're not locked up. You walk down the suburbs of Tokyo, midnight or 11 o'clock, we're going back to our digs in, suburbs of Tokyo. 11 o'clock at night, and you go past a house, and there'll be like a motorcycle outside and a car outside. A couple of push bikes or even a pram. I see prams outside in somebody's little driveway area. Not secured up at all.
No, because they feel safe.
Because it is safe.
How about, obviously, because you pick on London for obvious reasons, the metro system over there? They're kind of rhetorical questions, because I'm sad enough to have watched many a Japanese walking video. That's a thing, I'm not sure Ak actually knows that videos of people walking around parts of Japan, particularly obviously Tokyo, but other places, including the suburbs, are a big thing on YouTube, and it's literally no commentation, no music or anything. It's literally an hour walking, so that you feel that you can live vicariously by watching. It's almost like you're there.
Yeah.
for the benefit of everyone that hasn't watched those videos or been to Japan,
The metro
platforms,
system.
the signage system for it. How does it work over there?
Where do I start?
And try and compare it to the, I don't know, London Underground and
Yeah,
basically the
yeah.
train network here.
Well, London Underground has got a tube map. Tokyo, the metro system, has got a tube map. But it is more concise and more precise. How do I put that in perspective? The signage in the UK is sorely lacking. You'll go to the relevant line and there'll be like a drawing with a line down.
Yeah, it's a generic sort
and
of.
it will have all the names of the stations. Fine. And it will say east or west, north or south, but it still doesn't give you really
enough information if
enough
you're
information
a
to
tourist.
know quickly
Yeah.
which one you need to go on in relation to where you want to go. However, Tokyo, the signage is completely different. You will go into a station, there'll be different types of signs.
Japanese and English?
Both.
Because they're quite good, aren't they?
They are now. I mean, apparently they weren't up until the Olympics were over
But
there.
they are now,
whenever
for sure.
They are now. So, three main types of sign when you get down into the subway. There's the station map, and the station map will be a map of the entire station, but it will just be of the station. It won't be of any of the lines or the destinations.
No.
But it will have numbers or letters on there dotted all around the station, and each number corresponds to an exit and where you'll specifically leave that station and arrive overground.
Okay.
So there'll be signage with regards to exit A, and you can look on a map and say, oh, that'll take me there. You've kind of got that in the UK, but it's not quite as precise as that.
Okay.
You've got signage with regards to the line that you want, and you've got signage with regards to what stops are on that line, but it goes a step further. In the UK, you've got, say, for example, the Victoria line and all the stations on the Victoria line. Yeah. But there'll be a line, let's just say it's called the Tokyo line. It's not, but whatever. But all the lines and all the stops along that line will have the name of the actual stop, but because it's the Tokyo line, it'll be stop T1.
Logical.
T2.
Yeah, logical.
T3, T4. So all you need to do is, if you're planning a trip, you need to go to a particular area. So you think, right, I want that line and that T number. So when you get down to the platform, you can easily see quickly, based on the T number, where you need to go for your train.
Logical.
I can't describe it in any more detail than that, but it just, if I compare going to the Tokyo Metro for the first ever time compared to going on the subway in central London for the first ever time, it was a lot easier for me to work out the subway in Tokyo than
Which
it was.
says a lot considering
It
you
bear
live
in mind
the
on the
UK.
other side of the world, it's so much easier. And then you get on the trains. Most of the trains have got video screens. It shows you the train that you're on. It shows you the line that you're on. It's got a map of all the stations that you'll go to. It tells you what stop is coming up next with a T number. It comes up. Next station is TX.
And I guess that's
blah, blah,
audibly announced as well as
It
visual.
is. It is. There's also lots of various numbers on there as well. It's the time between where you are now and where...
That next one will be.
Yeah. And the thing is about Japan, you can set your watch to it.
Of course.
So if it
famously.
says it's going to arrive at 15:43 hours,
You know it's going to arrive.
it will arrive at 15:43 hours. So outside of the fact that it's efficient, it's extraordinarily clean. I saw cleaners down in the tube stations with backpacks on, which are great big hoovers, and they're hoovering the nooks and crannies
So a bit
of
like
the tube
Ghostbusters
stations.
walking around.
Pretty much, yes. But this is where it gets even better. Is on the underground station, on the overland, and even more pronounced on the Shinkansen, or the bullet train, is when you go to your platform, it will tell you, depending on how many cars are coming in, there'll be a graphic all along the barriers, and it will say, if you've got an 8-car train coming in, and I'll get to how you know about that in a minute, car 4 will stop here.
Yeah, okay.
And this is where the people queue for car 4.
Yeah.
If you've got like an 8-carriage train, This will be where car 6 will stop
Yeah.
and people queue, sort of thing. But on the announcement boards, it tells you this train's coming in at this time and it's going to be 8 cars. So you know where to go and where to queue up. This is the same on overland, underground, bullet train.
And do people get off before the people get on?
Well, this is the interesting thing. There are actually footprint signs. Most of the services, the people do not get off on the same side that the people get on. But it depends on the station. It's not always possible.
Okay.
But either way, in the UK, it's kind of like
It's a bit hit
courtesy
and miss.
to let people get off first.
And a lot of the time,
Doesn't always happen. However,
it does happen.
in Japan, people are patient and they wait for people to get off. And then when it's time to get on, everyone gets on in an orderly fashion, that even when the train, on occasion, peak service, underground, Tokyo, yeah, it could be proper rammed like it is in London, but there's no kind of like mass argy-bargy push to get on, and
No.
there's none of that. People just know they've got to get on, so they get on.
So sticking with trains, we can't not talk about Japan and talk about the overland Shinkansen in particular.
Oh, the bullet train, oh my God.
So where do we start? With
Where
the
do we start with
Shinkansen?
the Shinkansen? Various high-speed services all over Japan. Obviously, everybody already knows that. The first 2 cars of most services will be unreserved, so you can get on and try and get a seat if you want, no guarantee. The remaining cars will be allocated, i.e. you have to reserve your seats when you buy your tickets.
So there's not standing room in every carriage, but there is standing room.
No. If you're going to stand on the Shinkansen, you don't stand in the carriage. You stand in the bit in the middle.
Yeah, okay, like what I call the foyer, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not like in the UK where you just stand wherever it is.
Anywhere.
No. Let's talk about the accommodation, shall we say. Have you ever flown business class?
No.
Fine. Imagine sitting down on a stereotypical British rail train or a stereotypical...
I've done a few of those.
Stereotypical Ryanair flight.
I've done some Ryanair flights.
So you know the sort of quality and the spaciousness of the seating.
Yep.
There isn't any.
No.
And then there's the Shinkansen. So you've got your seats, very spacious, very comfortable. You can recline them, as in you can recline them. For example, you're on an EasyJet flight. I'll do this near the camera and you'll all know what I'm talking about. You're on an EasyJet flight and you want to recline your seat, it'll go from there to there.
Yeah. About 3 degrees different.
Yeah. You can recline this to about 40 degrees.
Yeah.
Right? And even when you do, you put your feet out like that,
Yep.
and you can just touch the seat in front of you.
Yeah, okay.
You've obviously got things that come round, for little desks for, like the tray tables, and you've got like a fold down thing for your feet in front of you, and you've got like sockets to plug your phone into. And then there's the actual experience of because the top speed of the Shinkansen is 200 miles an hour through the towns and the cities, or through Tokyo separately. The entire Shinkansen city is overground, like the elevated section of the M40.
Makes sense.
Everything's over the
Makes sense,
everything's over the top, and as it winds its way through, it properly leans. Unlike the half-assed 125 attempt that we had like 25 years ago,
Which I thought was quite good, but yeah.
The
Advanced passenger train. It was
Yeah. So it kind of leans and it's doing its speed, and then when it gets out of the city limits and it decides to wind itself on, you can really feel it wind itself on. It's like, whoa. And the funny thing is about that is, it's like you're on a fast train over here, you look out the window. But you're on a fast train over there, depending on what's going past the window, it's just you can't keep up with it. You've got to look way over there to have any kind of... But just the whole experience. And then we have the conductors. Now, they'd go through the carriage. They're all dressed like proper old school... How you'd expect a conductor to be dressed on, say, the Orient Express.
Okay, yeah.
Like hats, white gloves, that sort of thing. They bow as they enter the carriage, and they bow and face everyone as they exit the carriage. And all they do is they just walk through. And they are actually checking the tickets, but they don't actually check your tickets. They have little PDAs with them. Well, probably iPads. And because they know between each station which seats have been booked.
Yeah.
I found out all they're actually doing is checking the unbooked seats. So if they find someone in an unbooked seat, they will get challenged.
Yeah.
But if
Makes sense.
if you're in a seat that they know's booked, they're
not
just
going
leave
to
you alone.
disturb you.
No, they don't disturb you. They don't.
Because I suppose that's the whole sort of politeness thing coming in again, isn't it? Where,
Yeah. Well, it's the politeness thing, and it's the honesty and integrity thing.
of course.
People are not going to. People don't fair dodge in Japan. Well, maybe they do, but it's not like in London.
No, it's not prolific.
No, it's.
Do you know, on every major train I boarded last year and so far this year, every train, there has been someone that's tried to fair dodge. And on 2 of the train journeys, the British Transport Police have had to get on.
Superb.
So that's a typical UK
Yeah.
experience from someone that's witnessed it myself.
Well, people don't misbehave over there in public because it's completely frowned upon.
it would stand out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, it would. You know, for example, walking down the street. You don't walk down the street on your mobile phone. Oh, God, no. You
certainly don't
not.
on the public transport.
Well, here's the thing.
I guess you can look at stuff and have headphones on.
Totally acceptable because they're not making any noise.
It's not disturbing anyone around them whatsoever. How often are phone calls urgent?
Completely and utterly socially
They've got
not
it.
acceptable
Yeah.
to use your mobile phone in a voice conversation whilst on public transport, any public transport. But conversely, everyone's plugged into their phone and all doing social media on their phone. Basically, because everyone's got earpods. There's a lot of second-hand electrical stores out there because electronics are massively big
which
over
I
there.
am looking forward to going around.
Oh, you're going to love it, mate. Because I went into a lot of second-hand electrical shops because, you know, you can get lots of second-hand stuff. And then I did a lot of computer game shopping, as you know. And I went to a shop thinking, great, it's like 4 or 5 floors of tech. Because most of the shops are, rather than a thing, they're like high-rises.
Of course. Well, space is a premium, in it?
So there's like 5 floors. I thought, oh, great, 5 floors. And I looked at all the floor maps. It tells you what, you know, Sony on this floor, Panasonic on this floor, Samsung on that floor. It's like, whee! And each floor was just second-hand earbuds. And there's just a whole shop with like 5 floors dedicated.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's like a CEX type store,
Yeah.
but it just sold earbuds. But all the ones from this manufacturer on that floor. All the ones from that manufacturer was on that floor.
There must have been cars that you saw over there that you don't see over here, ignoring the K cars that we've
Yeah,
already
oh,
mentioned.
absolutely.
And there
There's
must have
a
been
lot
some nice bikes over there, which you probably do see
Well,
over here.
I was
What did you
disappointed.
see?
I didn't see many bikes at all.
No, okay.
Really disappointed. I hardly saw any bikes at all. And
But cars, there are definitely models driving around Japan, ignoring K cars.
there are many, many domestic-only Japanese cars that don't get over here. There are kind of variants that kind of look similar over here.
Yeah.
There's a particular type of Toyota, a bit like
People carrier?
yeah, it's like a. No, I'm trying to think of the actual phrase for the term.
Because I know that.
Toyota Corolla. Corolla's
Oh, okay,
like-
a hatchback.
They have a like their own mini brand called Crown,
Yeah.
but it's got like a crown badge. It says Crown on the front with a little crown, but on the back it's got a Toyota name and on a Toyota badge. And they have various different crowns, so it must be the executive version of Toyotas. And they have MPVs, they got saloon cars, but they just look really goddamn posh.
There is a particular car, and you will have seen a lot of these over there. I think it's Toyota, which is called the Alphard. Now, the Alphard is like a bigger MPV people carrier with a lot of black windows.
Ah, is this a Toyota by any
And
chance?
and they're
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah,
and if
yeah,
you were
yeah,
to see
yeah.
inside one, you've basically got 6, so 2, 2 and 2 configuration of the most luxurious seats that you could ever imagine. Because these cars are retailing at a big money.
When I first saw the inside of one, I couldn't believe it. It's got 2 massive armchairs. Beautiful looking cars. And a lot of the cars, but the MPVs were more prevalent with this than the saloon cars were. Even the private cars. But all the taxis had them. And I saw little mirrors on the front, because they drive on the same side of the road that we do. So they've got the
It's
steering wheel.
kilometres an hour instead of miles per hour.
Yeah.
Yes, they do drive on the
And obviously they've got steering wheels on the proper side of the car.
the proper side.
But believe that. Is apart from the wing mirrors, they've got like a little mirror on the front near side bonnet, right at the edge, just over the headlight. Most cars, unlike the UK, will pull over to the left if they've overtaken something. And if a car wants to come past, it will come up behind you. It will wait patiently. There's no bibbing of horns. There's no flashing of lights. You pull over and it will go. In the UK, it will go off like a bat out of hell and it will try and make as much noise as possible and be as fast as possible to show how small or large the driver's penis is. But in Japan, it will just kind of like... You know, some cars are doing it quicker than others, but there was no racing.
No.
Talk briefly, well, we've kind of touched on socially, but technology, well, we're living in the dark ages. We would get the Tokyo Metro from where we stayed in Shinjuku City, which is equivalent to staying somewhere like Perivale, away from central London. Imagine a 20-minute subway journey to get to central London, that sort of distance. Yeah. We would do that, and it would cost us 200, 300 yen. And at the time, it was 188 yen to the pound. So it was like less than £2 for that little journey. Considerably cheaper than your Oyster card. And we did an overland train journey of 60 miles. I can't remember where I did the comparison to, but it cost us in Japanese money, it was about £5.60 for this overland journey. And I did the same comparison over here. I think it's like from Northampton to somewhere about 60 miles away. Anyway, I did it just for a comparison. And the cheapest train ticket I could get off peak in advance was £25 on the train line. Obviously, it must be subsidised by the government, but they invest heavily in it because not only is it cheap as chips, even the buses are goddamn efficient. You can set your watch by the buses.
Well, I would expect it to be.
You know, and it's like one trip, one payment. So whether you ride the bus as we did in one location in Hiroshima all the way around the goddamn city, still cost us the same money, which was like, I think it was 260 yen. But, you know, if anyone's thinking of going to Japan or Tokyo, and people tell you it's expensive, to eat out, it's not expensive. Maybe the exchange rate plays a point to a degree.
Unless you're in the extremely touristy area where I have watched videos that confirm that the prices are increased because it's extremely touristy. In general, food prices over there are very low. Thank you for sharing.
No, you're very, very welcome.
All it has done is proven even more what I kind of already knew, but it's good to hear someone that I know.
And also proven how far anything with an engine and wheels on the infrastructure in the UK, how far behind we are.
Thank you very much.
No, thanking you.
Thank you for watching, and as we would always say, see you on the next one.
See you then.